Well, hey everybody, welcome back. All right, so today, I've been having fun most of this morning. Today is turning out to be a recon day, and I kind of expected that's what it would be because we're in an area that has a very large group of mines. As a matter of fact, there's about 17 locations in this area that I've been looking at. Problem is a lot of these locations are late 1800s, and they've either been eroded in, the adits have been eroded in, or many years ago the Forest Service came out here and blasted them shut. Hey look, we've got horses up here. Check it out. Yeah. Always good to see horses. Very cool. One's laying down, taking a rest. Yeah, so we got some neat things to look at around here, and we're going to start things off with this building. I'm guessing either in the maybe 70s or 80s, probably 80s. They had some modern operations out here, and there's some really large equipment lying about I want to show you. It looks like it's some rock ball mills and jaw crushers. So we're going to look around and see what's outside the building here. Then we're going to go inside and take a peek. And then after that, we're going to head up on the hill over here, and you can kind of see it. It's just cresting over the hill. There's a chimney. So I'm guessing that if they were pulling gold out of this area, maybe they were roasting ore to get the gold out of the sulfides. That may be the case. Be honest, I haven't dove into the history of this area yet. This was on my way to another area, but I just came out here because I wanted to check it out. So I'm not sure 100% what they were going for. I'll have to do a little bit of research, and I'm sure you'll hear that on some of the drone footage. So yeah, if you look out there in front of us, we're coming up on that building. Let's see what that's all about. And look at there, we got even some more horses. Okay, here we are, coming up on it. Now, all the equipment I was telling you about is off here on the left. There you can see it. We'll get a closer look at that in a minute. And then we got the building right over here. Let's look at the building first, shall we? Looks like we can just drive right over here. Yeah. See, the nice thing about a Jeep is you can drive just about anywhere. Kind of like this. Oh, can't go in too far though. There we go. All right, let's walk in here real quick and check it out. What do we have in here? Yeah, I think this is 90s. The copper thieves were in here. Yep, going after the copper in that. Here's a magazine. Any date on it? September 1986. I'm wrong. Maybe we're in the 80s here. 86 on that one. 86 on that one. We got a big, looks like a generator right over here. Yeah. That's about it. Offices above. Not a whole lot to see. Yeah, we're not going to spend too much time looking at all this modern modern stuff, you know, just a warehouse. Let's go over here and take a look at some of them ball mills. Okay, we're going to do something a little bit different today. Instead of walking around all of this stuff with the handheld camera, we're going to take a peek at it with the Mavic 3 Cine. This thing has a really nice camera on the front of it, so just something different to try. I thought you'd appreciate this. Let's check it out. Here we go. All right. First, let's get over here and put it in the right mode. There we go. Okay, let's start off with this ball mill. Right there. So a lot of you have been asking me, well, a few of you anyways, so what am I using for a drone? Well, this is, as I said, the Mavic 3 Cine. And the nice thing about the Cine is that the controls are very, very smooth, and you've got telescopic lens. See that? Isn't that cool? Yeah. So we're able to just kind of like zoom in on things, get a closer look. Now I do notice that the image degrades just a little bit when you zoom in all the way. I knew that before purchasing the drone. But it's still a better image than my old Mavic Mini that I used to use for, what, the last two and a half years. Okay, let's go back over here and take a look at that jaw crusher. Look at that right there. Yeah. Yep, that is what that is. Old jaw crusher. Looks like the jaws are removed. Let's get a better look at that. Well, it looks like the hard plates are still in place. But it looks like maybe the main jaw has been removed. Yep. Okay, moving on. Let's see what else we've got here. How about, let's go over this way. Yeah, we're getting buffered by the wind just a little bit. Not too bad. The nice thing about a larger drone like this is now I can fly in a little bit heavier winds. Right there is another ball mill, center screen. And off to the right is another jaw crusher. Let's get a better look at that. Yep, hard plates are still in place on that one. Looks like the back jaw is still in place too. Okay. You know, and guys, these things last forever. I mean, if a person wanted to, you could recondition that and get it up and running again. It would work just fine. All right, what do we have over here? Looks like some tanks. Yeah, there were some kind of tanks going on there, possibly for some cyanide leaching operations, I would suspect. Yep. Yeah, I do believe that they were doing some cyanide leaching out here for this operation, because we've got lined pits in the area. Let me show you something else that I found. Let's go over here real quick. Get on the other side of the building. See right here. See how those are staged? Right there. So the water leaps from or the treated cyanide solution leaps from one to the next to the next to the next, and the solution becomes more concentrated as you go. That's what's going on there. Okay. All right, let's back away from here and see if there's anything around here we're gonna take a look at. Yeah. Oop. Just got hit by a gust of wind. That's why I'm going all over the place here. Okay, another look around. So, since we have the drone right here in our hands, that right there is why all the horsies are in the area. They're over here taking a drink. Okay. And then up here on the hill, let me show you what else I found. Tell you what, we got to speed things up just a little bit. Okay, here we go. So this operation had modern day explosives magazines. Let me show you them right there. Now, before we go and go all the way in and show you what they are. Now, I used to be in the explosives business, primarily professional display fireworks, and you notice how those are separated 200 feet apart? Yep, my operation had the same thing too, but mine were much more modern. And depending on what you're storing will determine on if you need a berm in front of the door or not. That's why these don't have berms. Okay, let's zoom in on that one there. So what we're going to see here is a dual lock door. That's standard for a modern magazine. Those are called hoods. Okay, so it's regulatory to put a hood over the lock. That's to keep people from breaking in with the bolt cutters. This is why you have dual hoods. Yep. 3/8 shank, master lock, that's all you needed. Okay, let's take a look at the other one. That one's even vented. Now, the fact that that one's vented tells me that this was definitely dynamite storage. Okay, let's take a look at you. Yeah, whenever you see vents like that on top of a powder magazine, you know it's going to be for dynamite storage. And then fast forward to after 9/11, then the loony birds at the ATF made all of us fireworks guys have to vent our mags too. They put display fireworks in the same classification as dynamite. It was just absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so we had two magazines over there. Thought you want to take a look at those. And if you look inside, you're really not going to see much. It's just going to be brick and probably a bunch of trash from various visitors. Now over here, that's that chimney I was telling you about. Now as we go around it here, let's put it in a different mode. There we go. See how that just smoothed right out? Boy, I just love this drone. So they were definitely doing some roasting here. Yeah, roasting of ore. Let's get a little closer look on it here. And maybe just look right down on it, huh? Shall we? Let's see, we got to line up. There we go. That's a nice shot right there. Very cool. A lot of people that come out here and look at that don't quite see it from that angle, do they? Yeah. Again, thanks to all of you who helped the channel out by putting funds in the tip jar, as well as purchasing merch and other things, so that I could so that the channel could obtain this drone. It's just a fantastic tool. Okay, one more look about the area, and the next thing that we're going to do is head off to what looks to be some major surface workings in the area. And I believe, let's see, I kind of orientate myself here. One more thing I want to show you before we leave here. Right over here. Well, maybe. Where am I? I've lost my space. All right. Yep, I'm going in the wrong direction. Pretty big valley through here. Where'd it go? There we go. Now I've got my bearings. Okay, so let me explain what's going on. So what I'm about to show you guys is surface workings that they dug up. Now these veins of quartz that I'm seeing in the area were brought all the way over here and crushed. Now we're going to speed things up a little bit. I'm going to show you this. Now what you have before you there are called heap leach pads. All right. So indeed, they were cyanide leaching the ore after they crushed it with the ball mills and rock crushers I just showed you. Then after they crushed it, they laid it out on these pads. Now, if you look real close here, I'm just going to stop the drone for a second. You see how them pads are lined? You can still see what looks to be the black tarp. Kind of has a bluish hint to it. Right there. So the cyanide would leach through the ore. It would leach out the gold and all the other minerals. It would hit that non-permeable layer. Okay, and you notice how they have these staggered in elevation? So this one leaps down into the next one, into the next, and then finally they draw it out with a pump and bring it over to be processed. And that's why we were finding those tanks. So all of this material that I'm showing you here came out of these giant holes higher up on the hill. All right, I thought that was kind of fun. We've never really done a kind of a drone examination of an area quite like this before. So let's head back up, go up the hill and see what them big holes are all about. Shortly after discovering this location, I learned from the mine report that the heap leach piles I just showed you did not come from this location. These indeed are the 1800s workings. What you're seeing here on the east side of the hill is an anticlinal structure consisting of Precambrian dolomite limestone, which is faulted and broken into many different fracture zones. Within the fracture zones, and on the west side of the hill where most of the mining took place, miners discovered very rich lead and silver deposits in brecciated zones of silica and calcite. 152 years ago, around the year 1870, these giant holes were excavated along the west side of the hill. These holes are the remains of lens-shaped ore bodies containing a mineral called saragorite, or otherwise known as horn silver. Weighing 2 to 3 tons each, boulders of saragorite were excavated from these pits, containing silver values at an astonishing amount of up to $15,000 per ton at period values. interesting feature in the area and easily observed from Google Earth. An exposed gap can be seen along the fault zone, running north and south along the west side of the hill. The high-grade ore contained in this part of the deposit ran at a very shallow depth of only about 50 to 80 feet below the surface. The question I have is, did the miners excavate the ore to the surface, or was the ore dropped down to a haulage adit or drift and then brought further north to a vertical shaft and brought up and out of the hillside? Knowing full well that miners always use gravity to their advantage, we will need to explore this thoroughly again in the future in an upcoming episode. Due to the bitter cold and elevations of between 8,000 and 9,000 feet, stone buildings with thick walls were constructed in the area. The buildings you see here were constructed for mine operations, but below the hill, at a lower elevation, sat the town of Overlook, Nevada. This boomtown peaked in 1870 with a population of 10 to 25,000 people. It had 40 stores, a newspaper, a post office, a stock exchange, and a theater, as well as lodges and over a dozen saloons. In 1874, fire destroyed a good portion of the town, and by 1880, only 24 people remained. By the time this town faded into history, the surrounding mines in the area had produced between $20 to $40 million of silver. Okay guys, we just got down off of that steep hill. Yeah, it's always a little bit unnerving when there's that steep of a grade right next to the Jeep. What I do in those situations, I just stay focused on the road. I don't look at what's off to one side or the other. I just kind of go into tunnel vision mode. Kind of makes for a little bit less anxiety that way. So yeah, we're down here on the flat and we're going to work our way up this next valley. There's a mine up here that is showing an adit, and it's saying on the map tunnel. Well, usually when it says tunnel, that means it's going from one side of the mountain to the other. But I've noticed that on a lot of the older topo maps, especially the ones maybe from around 1954, 53. The person that was in charge of putting in the adit symbols and the shaft symbols on the topo maps. Hey, horsies. There's our horsies again. You're pretty. I like that one right there, the black one. Yeah, oh, there's a young one there too, a white face. Anyways, where was I? The person that was in charge of putting the adits and shaft symbols on the old topo maps was also writing the word tunnel when he or she shouldn't be. Because a tunnel truly designates an adit or a main haulage adit that goes all the way through a hill or a mountain. Okay, well, we're just going to work our way up this direction. Look at this valley. What a beautiful bluebird day, isn't it? Wow, I'm just having all kinds of fun. Yeah, you know what? Recon days can be a good time, guys. They really can. Even if we don't get inside of a mine today, the scenery is just gorgeous. Yeah. All right, when we get up closer to the mine, I'll be talking to you some more. Okay, guys, we just passed a mill site, a real old one up on the side of the hill. I'll show you that here after a bit. I want to get to the mine first. Let's see what we got here. Yep, we're almost there. Just got to keep following this road. It's pretty narrow through here. It's going to go up and then dogleg to the right, and it should take us right straight to the adit. Yeah, I got it four-wheel drive for this trail. Okay, here's our dogleg right. I'm starting to see mine debris, old barrel, and there should be a big old waste rock pile right up here. I got a squeaky brake. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Probably got a little piece of debris in the pad. Been driving me crazy all day. I'm gonna pull the wheel off and take a closer look at that. I don't like squeaks. Okay, should be right up here. Ooh, not too many people come up here. We're getting close. Pretty close. Through the trees. Uh-oh, I just saw bat bars over a shaft. That's not a good sign. There's an old, where a cabin or something used to be. Okay. About 15 more yards and we should be at the adit. I didn't like seeing the bat bars. That's never a good sign. All right, here's the waste rock pile. We're on top of it right here. Yeah, we sure are. There's the top. Okay. And there's our adit right there. Oh yeah, big one too. Okay, well, let's go over there and see if they haven't bat barred it shut, shall we? Okay, here we go. All right, guys, let's see if this is open. Maybe we'll get lucky, huh? Wow, that's a big adit. Look at that thing. Thing's giant. So right now what I've got here is just the my little handheld GoPro 9. Yeah, I'm just gonna peek up in here, make sure that the Forest Service didn't get silly with us. See if this thing is open. Wow, look at that. Huh. And we are open. Yeah, we are. No bars. Well, we got ourselves a mine. Fantastic. Haha. Okay. Well, I don't know where we stand on time right now. So we're either gonna explore this one right now in this episode, or I'm gonna pop this one over to next weekend, guys. So let's see what happens, okay?